Listen to me, today your life is moving in the direction of your dominant thoughts. If you keep allowing negative thinking to sit in your mind, it will build a throne there and rule your entire life. Today is the day you kill it before it kills your future. Let me show you how. People wake up every morning and the first place they step into is not their kitchen, not their office, not their gym. The first place they step into is their mind. Your mind is the true battlefield of your life. It is where your victories are won long before you hold them in your hands, and it is also where your defeats are sealed long before the world ever sees them. Think about it for a moment. There are people who have every opportunity lined up for them, connections, talent, education, support, yet they remain stuck in one place for years. Why? Because their mind is not aligned with their potential. Their mind has been hijacked by negative thinking, fear-based beliefs, and self-destructive narratives that tell them, you're not enough, you will fail, you don't deserve better. Imagine a soldier going to battle without a weapon, without strategy, and without training. What happens? He is slaughtered before the fight even begins. This is exactly what happens to people who wake up every day and don't prepare their mind for life. They go out into the world with untrained, unguarded minds, and they wonder why fear, depression, anxiety, and hopelessness keep conquering them day after day. Your mind is the battlefield where your future is either protected or destroyed. Look at the farmer who wakes up before dawn to cultivate his field. He knows that if he leaves the field unattended, weeds will take over, insects will infest, and the soil will harden. In the same way, if you leave your mind unattended, negative thoughts will infest it, fears will harden it, and doubt will suffocate your dreams before they even sprout. Just like the farmer's field doesn't care what grows in it, whether weeds or crops, your mind does not care what you plant in it. It will grow whatever you feed it. If you feed it with thoughts like, I am useless, I am always failing, nothing works out for me, your mind will take those words, fertilize them with your emotions, water them with your focus, and before long, your life will reflect exactly what you have been thinking. Think about athletes before a big game. They don't just train their bodies, they train their minds. They visualize the victory. They see themselves running the track faster, scoring that goal, finishing that marathon. Because they understand if they cannot win in their minds first, they can never win in reality. The same principle applies to your daily life. If your mind wakes up thinking, this will be another stressful day, you will find stress in the smallest things, the traffic jam, the slow internet, the comment from your boss. But if your mind wakes up thinking, today, I will handle challenges with wisdom and strength, you will find solutions faster, remain calm under pressure, and finish the day with fulfillment instead of exhaustion. Let me tell you something that will shift your perspective forever. The enemy of your destiny does not need to attack your finances, your job, or your relationships first. All he needs to do is attack your mind, because once your mind is conquered, your life will follow. That is why a person can have nothing but a strong, healthy mind, and within a year, they will build everything they need. And another person can have everything, but with a broken, negative, defeated mind, they will lose it all in a moment. Your mind is the battlefield where your identity is fought for, where your confidence is fought for, where your peace is fought for, and where your purpose is fought for. I want you to think of this in your everyday life. The reason you snap quickly at your children or spouse is not because they are doing something new to irritate you. It is because your mind has been filled with stressful, anxious, impatient thoughts all day. The reason you avoid starting that business idea is not because the idea is weak. It is because your mind is filled with thoughts of fear, failure, and embarrassment. The reason you cannot sleep peacefully is not because sleep is far from you. It is because your mind is a battlefield raging with worries that you refuse to silence before you lay down. When you wake up tomorrow, remember this: before you touch your phone, before you read the news, before you scroll through other people's lives, you must prepare your battlefield. You must choose what thoughts will dominate your mind that day. Will it be thoughts that push you forward, or thoughts that pull you back into cycles of defeat? The greatest wars are silent and invisible. They are fought in the chambers of your mind where no one else sees, but everyone around you feels the results. This is why wise people take time to meditate, to speak affirmations, to write visions, and to read wisdom before they start the day. They are equipping themselves to win the battle in their minds before they step out to win the battles of life. Everything you see in your life right now is a reflection of the thoughts you have entertained over time. Your thoughts become reality, whether you like it or not. Think about the smartphone in your hand right now. Before it became a physical device, it existed as a thought in someone's mind. Before the chair you sit on was built, it existed as an idea. Before the clothes you wear were designed, they existed as a concept in the mind of a designer. This is the law of life. Everything is created twice, first in the mind, then in the physical world. The tragedy is that many people use this law against themselves without even knowing it. They keep thinking thoughts of fear, limitation, sickness, rejection, and failure. And without fail, those thoughts shape their experiences. Imagine a young woman who wakes up every morning and looks in the mirror thinking, I'm not beautiful. I am fat. I am worthless. She goes to work with those thoughts clouding her confidence. She walks past people with her shoulders down, avoiding eye contact. And when people treat her as if she is invisible, she says, see, I told you I'm not worth noticing. But what she doesn't realize is that her thoughts shaped her posture, her energy, her presence, and her presence shaped people's responses to her. Thoughts become reality. The way you think about yourself determines the way you carry yourself, and the way you carry yourself determines the way the world treats you. Think about a man who keeps thinking, I can never be wealthy. Money is hard to get. People like me will always struggle. He will see opportunities every day, but his mind will reject them before he even tries. If someone tells him about a business idea, his first response is, that won't work here. If someone offers to mentor him, his first thought is, they're just wasting my time. I'm not cut out for this. Meanwhile, another man with less education, less connection, and less skill has a mind that thinks, I will find a way. I will learn. I will grow. That man's reality shifts because his thoughts fuel his courage, and his courage produces actions that lead to success. Your thoughts are silent architects building your future behind the scenes. The words you speak daily, the silent conversations you have with yourself at night, the things you meditate on while driving, these are the blueprints of your tomorrow. If your thoughts are small, your life will be small. If your thoughts are fearful, your life will be filled with anxiety. If your thoughts are powerful, your life will radiate strength and influence. The problem is, we think thoughts are harmless because no one else can hear them. But what you don't realize is that your thoughts send signals to your emotions. Your emotions direct your behaviors, and your behaviors create your results. Look at successful athletes. Before every game, they don't just practice their skills, they visualize their victory. A sprinter will close his eyes and see himself crossing the finish line first. A footballer will see himself scoring the winning goal. A boxer will see himself lifting the belt in victory. They understand that their body can never go where their mind has not already gone. The same principle applies to you. If you want to become confident, your mind must see you walking confidently. If you want to heal from your past, your mind must see you living free from those painful memories. If you want to succeed in business, your mind must see you shaking hands with clients, signing contracts, managing your team, and expanding your brand across nations. Think about the builder who wants to construct a skyscraper. He doesn't start with bricks and cement. He starts with architectural drawings, detailed designs, and mental visualization of what the building will look like. Your life is the same. If you want to build something great, you need to start by creating it in your thoughts. And just like a builder cannot pour concrete on grass without preparation, you cannot build a successful life without first clearing out the negative thoughts that choke your potential. Let me show you a daily example. Have you ever noticed that when you buy a new car or a new phone, suddenly you start seeing it everywhere on the road or in people's hands? It's not that everyone bought what you bought overnight. It's that your mind is now tuned to notice it because you've been thinking about it constantly. This is called your reticular activating system. It filters information according to what your mind is focused on. If you keep thinking about opportunities, your mind will start noticing them everywhere. But if you keep thinking about problems, your mind will start seeing problems in everything and everyone. This is why some people walk into a room and all they see is what's wrong. The lights are too bright, the chairs are uncomfortable, the people are rude, the food is tasteless. Meanwhile, another person walks into the same room and sees what's right. The decor is beautiful, the music is calming, the food is nourishing, the people are diverse. Same environment, different reality. Because thoughts shape perception, and perception creates your personal reality. Your thoughts can heal you or break you. They can lift you into boldness or sink you into depression. They can empower you to take new actions or paralyze you with fear. Every successful person you admire is simply someone who learned how to master their thoughts before their circumstances caught up with their thinking. They lived in their future mentally until it became their present physically. Thoughts become reality, not by magic, but by repetition, emotional focus, and bold action aligned with what you think about most. If you want to change your life, change what you think about when you're alone, when you're quiet, and when no one is watching, because those thoughts are writing the blueprint of your destiny right now. When a person decides to kill their negative thinking, most people make one mistake. They focus only on removing the negative thoughts, but they never replace them with empowering thoughts. Imagine a house infested with rats. You can chase out the rats today, but if you leave the door open and food scattered everywhere, those rats will return tomorrow, and they will come back stronger, bringing more of their kind with them. In the same way, when you remove negative thoughts from your mind, but leave it empty without replacing them with powerful, positive life-building thoughts, those same negative thoughts will come back, and they will come back stronger, dragging with them anxiety, fear, self-doubt, and depression. Think about a man who stops telling himself, "I am a failure." That's good, but if he does not replace it with, "I am capable of achieving greatness," his mind will remain an empty field where weeds will grow again. Life does not respect emptiness. Nature does not respect emptiness. The universe does not respect emptiness. Everything fills a void. That is why when you lose a relationship, if you don't fill your mind with self-love and growth, you will attract another relationship of the same pain. When you leave a toxic job and do not fill your mind with thoughts of your true purpose and skills, you will find yourself in another toxic job repeating the same cycles. Your mind is like a garden. If you pull out the weeds but do not plant flowers, shrubs, or crops, weeds will return because the soil remains unoccupied. That is why wise people do not just stop negative thinking. They intentionally replace it with affirmations, visions, gratitude, and powerful declarations that build their spirit and sharpen their focus. Look at someone who struggles with fear every day. They tell themselves, "I will not be afraid, I will not be afraid." But what happens? Fear still grips them because their focus is still on fear, even though they are trying to reject it. The mind does not understand rejection without replacement. Instead, if that person wakes up and says, "I am courageous, I am bold, I take action even when I feel fear," then their mind begins to accept the image of boldness, and that image rewires their emotions and actions. Imagine someone who wants to lose weight. They keep saying, "I will not eat junk food. I will not eat junk food." But their mind is still occupied with the thought of junk food. What they should be saying is, "I love nourishing my body with healthy foods that energize me and keep me strong." Now their mind is not focused on avoiding junk food. It is focused on embracing healthy food. They have replaced the negative with the positive. That replacement rewires their behavior and transforms their results. Think about a person drowning in debt who keeps saying, "I don't want to be broke. I don't want to be broke." Their mind is still trapped in the identity of being broke. But when they start saying, "I am learning how to manage and multiply money. I am building streams of income. I am financially free," their focus shifts from lack to abundance. And that new focus energizes new behaviors like reading financial books, taking action, creating products, serving others, and managing money wisely. They begin to live out the replacement thought until it becomes reality. Your mind hates a vacuum. That is why even in your moments of silence, thoughts rush in to fill your mind. If you do not intentionally choose what fills your mind, life and your past traumas will choose for you. Every time you remove a negative thought, replace it instantly with a powerful thought. If you remove, I am not loved, replace it with, "I radiate love everywhere I go." If you remove, "I am too old to start," replace it with, "My age is my advantage because I have wisdom, maturity, and endurance." If you remove, "I always fail," replace it with, "Every failure refines me for greater success." Your replacement thoughts must be so clear and repeated so often that your mind begins to believe them more than it believed the negative thoughts. Look around at people who walk with unstoppable confidence. They are not the most beautiful, most educated, or most connected people in the room. They are simply the people who have replaced every negative label given to them with a powerful label they chose for themselves. They have decided, if life called me worthless, I will call myself valuable. If my family called me useless, I will call myself a world changer. If society called me ugly, I will call myself fearfully and wonderfully made. These people walk with a presence that shifts atmospheres because their minds have been reprogrammed by intentional replacement. Imagine a glass filled with dirty water. You want clean water in that glass. You don't keep pouring out the dirty water alone because the glass will remain empty and vulnerable to more dirt. You place the glass under a tap of fresh, clean water. As the clean water pours in, it pushes out the dirty water. Soon, the glass is filled with only pure water. This is how you must handle your mind. Don't just try to remove anger, pour in thoughts of compassion. Don't just try to remove jealousy, pour in thoughts of gratitude and contentment. Don't just try to remove laziness, pour in visions of your purpose, impact, and legacy. As you pour in powerful thoughts daily, the negative thoughts have no choice but to be flushed out by the force of what is greater and purer than them. Your mind is the control center of your destiny. Whatever enters it has the power to influence your thoughts, your beliefs, and ultimately your results in life. This is why you must guard your gates. What are your gates? Your eyes, your ears, your mouth. These are the entrances to your mind and soul. Many people have powerful dreams and visions for their lives, but they keep exposing their gates to garbage that pollutes their thoughts and weakens their courage. Think about your eyes. If all you do is scroll through social media, looking at people who flaunt fake lifestyles, who post half-naked pictures, who spread negativity and confusion, your mind becomes filled with comparison, jealousy, and hidden depression. You start thinking, look at them, they are ahead of me. They are happier than me. They are richer than me. But you don't know that many of those people go home at night and cry themselves to sleep, battling secret struggles they never post. You must guard your eyes. Feed your eyes with visions of greatness. Watch teachings that inspire you. Read books that educate you. Observe people who reflect your future, not your past. Think about your ears. What you listen to daily determines what grows in your mind. If all you do is listen to gossip, you will become fearful and suspicious. If all you do is listen to music that glorifies violence, lust, and confusion, you will find yourself meditating on destructive behaviors without realizing why you feel restless and distracted. But when you listen to wisdom, when you fill your ears with knowledge that uplifts your spirit and challenges your thinking, your life starts rising to the level of that wisdom. Look at a person who wants to build a global business empire, but spends every morning listening to shallow entertainment shows. Their dreams will remain locked because their ears are not feeding their mind with strategies, financial literacy, leadership insights, and spiritual alignment. But another person wakes up and listens to an audiobook on building wealth, on mindset mastery, on leading teams, on emotional intelligence. Soon, you see their life expanding because they guarded their ears. Think about your mouth. Many people don't realize that the words they speak are seeds being planted into their future. You cannot keep saying, I am tired of life, I can't do this, nothing works for me, and expect to live a life of energy, success, and productivity. You are poisoning your future every time you speak words of defeat. Guard your mouth. Speak what you want to see, not what you fear to see. Even if everything around you looks dark, speak light. Even if you feel weak, say, I am strong and renewed. Even if you feel confused, say, clarity flows to me with ease. Your mouth has the power to shift your emotions. Your emotions shift your actions, and your actions shift your results. Look at successful athletes before they step into the arena. They guard their gates fiercely. They don't spend the night before their match watching movies that drain their energy. They don't listen to doubters telling them they can't win. They don't speak words of fear. They fill their eyes with visions of victory, their ears with voices of encouragement, and their mouth with declarations like, I am unstoppable, I am ready, I will dominate. That is why when they enter the arena, their mind is conditioned for triumph before their body even begins the game. Imagine a student preparing for exams who spends the evening gossiping about other people, watching random viral videos, and listening to friends who say, this exam is too hard, we will fail. By the time that student opens their book, their mind is already fogged with negativity. Compare that to a student who says, tonight I guard my focus. I will listen to motivational speeches while studying. I will watch tutorials that explain the concepts. I will keep away from people who drain my confidence. That student's gates are protected and their mind remains empowered to excel. Think about this in your relationships. If you keep exposing your gates to friends who always criticize your dreams, who tell you you're not good enough, who gossip about others, who laugh at your vision, soon your mind will shrink to fit their opinions. But when you guard your gates and choose relationships that speak life, friends who say, go for it, you can do it. I see greatness in you. Your confidence rises and your life expands. Your gates determine your mental environment. Your mental environment determines the harvest of your life. Just like a farmer cannot plant healthy crops in polluted soil, you cannot build a powerful life if your gates are constantly exposed to pollution. Guard your gates from negativity. Guard them from toxic entertainment. Guard them from faithless words. Guard them from people whose minds are filled with fear and limitation. You don't have to hate them, just guard your gates. You don't have to insult them, just guard your gates. You don't have to announce it to the world. Just quietly and intentionally guard your gates every single day. Your words are not mere sounds in the air. They are seeds. Every word you speak carries life or death, possibility or limitation, breakthrough or bondage. Most people don't realize that they are creating their future by the words they choose to speak daily. You may say, it's just a figure of speech, but there is no such thing as a figure of speech in the realm of your destiny. Your words are commands sent into the soil of your life. And the soil does not decide whether it likes the seed or not. It simply produces what you plant. Look at people who keep saying, I am so tired of this life, nothing ever works for me. I am so unlucky. They wonder why their days feel heavy, why their motivation is low, and why their opportunities dry up. They are unaware that their words are building walls around their potential. Your words become the house you live in. If you keep saying, I can't, your mind will obey you and shut down every possibility. But if you start saying, I will find a way, there is always a solution. My mind is anointed for strategies. Your brain begins searching for answers. Your eyes begin noticing open doors, and your spirit becomes energized to take steps. Think of a farmer. He cannot go to his field, stand there, fold his arms and say, I hope I get a harvest this year, while refusing to plant any seeds. Harvest is not a miracle, it is a law. In the same way, success is not magic. It is a harvest of your planted words, thoughts, and actions. When you keep declaring what you desire, you are planting seeds into the soil of your future. If you want to build a business, don't say, this business world is too hard, it's only for the smart ones. Instead say, I am learning the wisdom of business daily, and my ventures are prospering step by step. Your words shape your beliefs, and your beliefs shape your outcomes. Imagine someone battling sickness. Every day they keep saying, this sickness is killing me. I can't handle this pain. I will never be okay again. Their body listens to those words and aligns with death. But another person in the same pain says, my body is healing. Strength is returning to my bones. Every cell in my body is aligning with divine health. Their words begin to energize their cells. Their faith rises, their emotions shift, and soon their body starts aligning with the image their words create. Science calls it positive affirmation. But it is deeper than that. It is the spiritual law of spoken creation. Think of a student who keeps saying, I am not smart. I can't understand maths. I will fail. Their brain shuts down creativity because they have spoken limitation into existence. But if that student wakes up each morning and says, my mind is sharp. I understand complex concepts with ease. I enjoy learning and my grades are rising. They activate parts of their brain responsible for problem solving and confidence. Their words become the fuel for their actions, and their actions become the evidence of their words. Your relationships are shaped by your words. If you keep saying, people are so untrustworthy, love never lasts, I will never find someone who values me, your mind begins to filter every person you meet through suspicion and fear. But if you say, I attract relationships that honor my worth, I am surrounded by loyal, loving people who value me deeply, your words reprogram your subconscious to notice, attract, and nurture those relationships. Look at an entrepreneur facing failure. One says, I am finished. I lost everything. I can't start again. Another says, this failure is refining my strategies. I have learned what doesn't work, and now I am closer to what works. Their words create two entirely different futures. The first person lives in defeat. The second rises with resilience and eventually builds success from the ashes. You must discipline your mouth to align with your vision, not your fears. Even if fear is screaming within you, let your words speak faith. Even if everything looks stagnant, let your words declare progress. Even if your bank account is empty, say, I am attracting streams of income. Wealth flows to me through value, service, and wisdom. Your current reality may argue with your words, but reality will always submit to persistent, faith-filled declarations spoken with action. Your words are invisible architects building the house you will live in tomorrow. If you keep complaining about your job, you will remain frustrated in it. If you keep saying, I hate Mondays, your Mondays will feel heavy every week. But if you start saying, today is a day of favor, doors are opening for me, I will walk in solutions and excellence today, your energy shifts, your mind focuses on opportunities, and your spirit walks with expectation. Think about a gardener again. If he wants roses, he plants roses. If he wants oranges, he plants orange seeds. It would be foolish for him to plant lemon seeds and pray for sweet oranges. In the same way, do not plant words of fear and expect a harvest of confidence. Do not plant words of poverty and expect a harvest of wealth. Do not plant words of failure and expect a harvest of success. Your words are your seeds, your mind is your soil, your actions are your water, and your persistence is your sunlight. Every day you wake up, you step into an atmosphere. That atmosphere is not just the weather outside, it is the environment you create in your mind before you even leave your bed. Many people do not realize that their thoughts are like a thermostat. They can set it to cold depression, lukewarm confusion, or blazing confidence and purpose. If you wake up in the morning and your first thoughts are, another stressful day, I hate my job, my life is such a mess, you have already programmed the atmosphere of your mind to attract chaos and frustration throughout your day. But if you wake up and say, today is a gift, I am alive, I am strong, I will walk in wisdom and excellence today, you have commanded your inner atmosphere to produce clarity, energy, and solutions. Imagine walking into a room filled with smoke. Even if you enter with clean clothes, the smoke will stick to you. In the same way, if your mind wakes up in an atmosphere of negativity, fear, self-pity, and doubt, it does not matter how many good plans you wrote the night before. That mental smoke will cloud your vision and choke your energy before noon arrives. But you have the power to create a clean, fresh atmosphere in your mind every single morning. You do this by intentionally choosing your first thoughts, your first words, and your first meditations. Look at the most successful athletes, leaders, and innovators. They are not simply driven by talent, they are driven by atmosphere. Before they step out to meet the world, they create an environment in their minds that empowers their confidence. An athlete wakes up at 4 a.m., sits in silence, visualizes his victory, repeats his affirmations, and then goes to train with his mind already conditioned for success. A leader wakes up early, spends moments in reflective gratitude, declares powerful intentions for the day, and reviews her strategic priorities with confidence. They do not let the world dictate their mental atmosphere. They dictate it themselves. You must understand that your atmosphere is your responsibility. Imagine you are driving a car early in the morning and the windows are fogged up. If you don't clear that fog before starting the journey, you will crash because your vision is blocked. Your mind is the same. If you don't clear out yesterday's disappointments, regrets, anger, and confusion, and intentionally fill it with clarity and courage, your day will become a confused journey with unnecessary collisions. You cannot keep driving your life blindly just because you refuse to clean your mental windshield every morning. Your words are powerful tools to create your mental atmosphere. Speak life over your day before it begins. Instead of saying, I don't know how I'll cope today, say, I have divine wisdom for every situation today. I handle challenges with ease. Favor follows me everywhere I go. When you create an atmosphere of expectation, your mind begins scanning the day for opportunities that align with what you declared. This is why some people always find solutions while others only find problems. It is not luck, it is atmosphere. Think of your home. If your room smells bad, you open the windows, you spray air freshener, you clean up. You don't sit there and adapt to the smell. But why do you allow your mind to stink with old fears, guilt, failures, and negativity without opening the windows of new thoughts to clear it out? You need to refresh your mind daily. Read a chapter of a book that expands your vision. Listen to a teaching that feeds your spirit with strength. Write down what you are grateful for, no matter how small. Gratitude clears out toxic thinking like opening windows clears out stale air. Imagine someone who wakes up and their first act is to scroll through social media, comparing their life with edited highlights of others. Within 10 minutes, their atmosphere is polluted with jealousy, self-doubt, inferiority, and sadness. Now their energy for the day is drained before it begins. But another person wakes up, sits quietly, breathes deeply, declares, "Today I am enough. I am growing. I am learning. I will serve and receive with joy." That person's mental atmosphere is empowered with gratitude and confidence. They go out with their head lifted high, and their spirit becomes magnetic for solutions and favor. Your mental atmosphere is not just about positive thinking, it is about strategic thinking. When your mind is clouded with negative emotions, you cannot think creatively. Solutions hide behind fear. But when your atmosphere is charged with faith, clarity, and gratitude, your creativity is unlocked. Your brain begins firing powerful connections, and your confidence grows stronger. People will look at you and wonder why you are so calm under pressure, why you radiate peace when others panic, why you walk with assurance when others hesitate. It is because you have learned the secret of creating a victorious mental atmosphere daily. Imagine a pilot flying through turbulence. The plane shakes and passengers scream, but the pilot remains calm because he has trained his mind to focus on his instruments, not the chaos around him. In the same way, when you build a mental atmosphere anchored in purpose, wisdom, and faith, the turbulence of life will not shake your inner stability. You will navigate through storms with calm solutions while others panic and surrender. Today, I want you to stand up in the arena of your life and declare boldly to yourself, "I will no longer be a prisoner of my own negative thoughts. I will no longer allow fear to dictate my destiny. I am bigger than my doubts. I'm stronger than my fears. I am wiser than my past mistakes. I refuse to die with my potential still locked inside me." You are not born to be average. You are not born to wake up each day complaining, dragging your feet, and feeling defeated before the sun even rises. You were born to command your day, to conquer your inner battles, to inspire others through the silent strength you carry within. They told you that your thoughts don't matter. But listen to me today, your thoughts shape your life more than your circumstances ever will. Circumstances change, but your thinking remains the engine that drives your future. Never bow to your situation, bend your mind to rise above it. You can sit in the middle of chaos and still maintain peace if your mind is anchored on powerful truths. You can be surrounded by negative people and still radiate positivity if your mind is filled with purpose. You can lack resources today but carry a millionaire mindset that will attract provision tomorrow. The world bows to a mind that is disciplined. The world honors a soul that refuses to be shaken. The world follows a person who stands firm when others crumble. That person is you if only you choose to kill your negative thinking and awaken your greatness. Remember, diamonds are formed under pressure. Gold is purified by fire. Eagles fly above the storm. Your mind is your gold, your diamond, your wings. Train it to think thoughts that empower, build, and resurrect every dead dream within you. Don't ever say again, "I can't do this. I am too tired. I don't have enough." Replace it today with, "I can do all things through discipline and wisdom. I am energized by my purpose. I have everything I need within me to start." Speak to your own soul like a commander to his army. Get up. March forward. There is victory waiting for you on the other side of fear. Do not give your mind permission to replay old pain and sabotage your new opportunities. Every time your negative thinking tries to sit on the throne of your life, dethrone it with words of purpose and faith. People will call you arrogant when you begin to walk confidently. Let them talk. You are not here to please their insecurities. You are here to fulfill destiny. People will say you've changed. Let them say it. Growth is change. Greatness is change. Transformation is change. Never apologize for thinking higher than the limitations they tried to place upon you. You are not the label they gave you in your lowest moments. You are the possibility that your Creator planted in your spirit when He imagined you into existence. From today onwards, refuse to feed your mind with the poison of worry, gossip, blame, and doubt. Feed it with visions of what is possible, with declarations of who you truly are, with gratitude for what you have, with discipline to rise above fleeting emotions. When your mind is disciplined, your life becomes unstoppable. When your mind is clear, your decisions become powerful. When your mind is filled with vision, your steps become bold. There will be days you feel weak. That's fine. Even champions feel tired. But do not let that weakness transform into negative thinking that cripples your faith. Rest, but never quit. Pause, but never stop believing. Cry, but never surrender your purpose. When you rise again, and you will rise wiser, stronger, deeper, and more unbreakable. The scars you carry in your mind are proof that you have healed before, and you will heal again. So today, look at yourself in the mirror and say it until your spirit believes it. My mind is my greatest weapon. I choose to master it. I choose to kill every negative thought. I choose to think possibilities. I choose to build a life of purpose, of confidence, and of unstoppable vision. Because the greatest prison is an undisciplined mind, and the greatest freedom is a liberated soul. You are not your thoughts, you are the master of your thoughts. You are not your failures, you are the architect of your future. Speak life, think life, and watch your entire existence rise to match the power of your thinking